YouTube? Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? It's your boys, Detroit Love, PDubs Arcade Loft, MichaelB the Game Genie, and Restalgia with another episode of the Super Game Room Dudes. Friday night just got live.
That was another killer intro by my boy Carl, Detroit Love. Guys, welcome to the Friday Funhouse. This is the Super Game Room Dudes. I am your host, as always, Patrick PDubs. With me, as always, are my co-hosts, Detroit Love, MichaelB the Game Genie, and Restalgia. How you doing, fellas?
Super awesome,
fantastic, baby. You know how we do it.
You guys are ready to rock and roll. Are you? Is the live chat here? Is anyone here? Did we lose our audience last week? Is the show canceled?
Oh, there's Conti Dinda. There's Nooner. Let there be banana.
Is there any?
Pull that out, Restalgia.
I didn't bring any bananas today. We did not get any bananas at the grocery store this week.
Tony 4K, what up?
What up? What up? What up? All right, let's take a look here, guys. Let's see who's here in the live chat. If you're here, let us know. Somebody gave us a super chat before the show went on the air, and unfortunately, it's gone because they put it in before we went live, so YouTube got rid of it. My apologies. But it was Dan Z gave us $2 saying, welcome back, dude. So thanks so much for that super chat donation. We greatly appreciate it. We also had another one pop in from a very handsome devil who happens to be down in Hawaii right now as we speak. 19K Fox. $5. What's up, dudes? He's watching the lava flow in Hawaii. There you go.
I heard a rumor that it's been very moist since 19K Fox has been down there. And by moist, I mean the ladies as he's walking on the beach.
I believe that.
All of a sudden, every beach became a nude beach because the bikinis were dropping when 19K Fox was walking through the beach. Okay, real quick, guys, we got to say hi to who's here in the live chat. Hold on. I'm going to need a minute. Whew. All right, here we go. Let's see who's here in the live chat. Keep the comments coming. We got Weapon X is here. Endless One Up is here. Brady Goat is here. Man, that thing moves a lot slower than the last streaming service we used. I can't go fast. All right, I'll just read the names. Bobby's here, Managing Chaos. Patrick Murphy's here. Jeff Walsh is here. JT is here. Who else is here? We got the Dawn of Time. Don't forget Wagner's Tech Talk. Wagner's Tech Talk will also have a written guide breaking down tonight's broadcast on his website tomorrow. Make sure you guys go to Wagner's Tech Talk tomorrow for your guide to the Super Game Room Dudes. Chris Zeke is here. Hopefully his wonderful wife Nikki's watching as well. Tim's Basement Arcade is here. RB Wings. My cock hurts. Andy's Game Room is here. Adam Kolb is here. Jeff Walsh is here. Sony 4K is here. Nooner graced us with his presence. Video Game Vegas came out from the rock he was hiding underneath. Pixel Gallery got himself in focus. The show is hopefully not pixelated for him. I'm running out of jokes. Let's start the show. All right, let's keep going here, guys.
So I gotta be. Go ahead, Carl.
I thought the Hawaii was hot because Mrs. Kongs or us was just there.
That's a good point.
Not that I mean, not that I would know anything about it. I'm married to it.
So I would love to do a show where we had a herd hour limit, and I said herd the way I normally say it, herd hour limit. And there's so many people watching that the entire hour is just you saying hello to the chat, PDubs. That would just make me so happy.
That would be pretty glorious, in my opinion. That would be pretty glorious. So, guys, we have a number of topics we want to talk about. We're actually going to dive into a bit of pop culture tonight because this impacts, I think, all of us. Mike and I were talking earlier today. We're like, why don't we talk about this? The other day, yesterday, was like the greatest day in movie trailer history. We got trailers for Transformers, Indiana Jones, Super Mario Brothers, Guardians of the Galaxy. There was even kind of an updated promo trailer for Quantumania, AntMan and the Wasp. And it's like, for all of us, I'm sure a lot of you guys like the same movies as us. It's Geek City, man. It's geek heaven. And we want to talk a little bit about these movies coming out and our excitement for them. Go ahead, Mike.
Don't forget Cocaine Beer, which is what I called Carl because of his excitement before the show.
Call him what?
Cocaine Beer. best movie coming out next year. I can't wait.
Yep. And guys, if you want to know who this clown is, it's me, it's MichaelB, and you can find him on YouTube at youtube.com. MichaelB the Game Genie. I actually got a bone to pick with you about your Sega Mini Genesis review. Don't let me forget about that.
Okay.
Because you know how we promised we were going to have we were going to behave ourselves tonight, and we were going to have a fun, positive show. We might end up scrapping. There might be a little bit of a scrap going on here based upon your product review, Mike.
Clay Fighter fan, hey?
Yeah. Also, guys, we want to talk about iiRcade released a game which I think some people might be a little excited about today. AtGames, we got some updates for you, as well as some exclusive footage of the new Fox and Sox pinball table. We've seen footage in the past for How the Grinch Stole Christmas. We've seen footage for the Cat in the Hat. We have video footage of Fox and Sox for you. We also have Arcade1Up. We're going to put on the goggles, the binoculars, and we're going to spectate just a little bit about Killer Instinct. Maybe we'll squeeze in the Evercade EXP. Evercade did release a new video showing all the features that the EXP comes with, and it looks pretty badass in my opinion. Detroit Love wants to hit the drive-thru. Guys, are we going to get all this done in an hour and 18 minutes?
Hour 16. That's my guess. That's the pool.
Hour 16 tops. All right, cool. Well, Mike, here, I'm going to put you on the spot, my dude. Let's kick off the show and have a little bit of fun here. So you did a review today of the Sega Genesis Mini, and basically you said it sucked. Am I wrong? Like, you basically said it was horrible. No one should buy it. The game lineup sucks and all that kinds of stuff.
Seems like the opposite of what I said, but okay. I said it's a real collector's piece for like hardcore Sega fans like me, and especially people that grew up with the Sega CD and have a ton of nostalgia for it. You're gonna love this thing. But for the more general consumer and fair weather Sega fan, like, you know, if you want to plug this in and play Sonic 2 and like more of the, you know, more mainstream Sega Genesis games, this might not be the system for you, but there's still tons of great content on it that you can still explore and have new experiences with. Like, so I was positive negative.
Restalgia, you have these. You probably ordered like 10 of them because you plan on, you know, hacking them. Am I right?
I don't have 10, but I have lots of them. Yes.
Do you think MichaelB was a little off base with his review?
Sorry, Mike, I haven't seen it yet. I was at work. I literally got home like maybe 2 hours ago. I just have not seen your video yet.
It's fine.
But if PDubs is accurate and you said people shouldn't buy the Sega Genesis Mini 2 unless they are a hardcore Sega fan,
yep,
I actually think you might be a little bit right, just because the Sega Genesis 2 really feels like it was a lot more of like a passion project for Sega.
Yeah.
And it was like catered for the people who really were into Sega games. And just playing around with it, you'll experience that. And it's a really stark difference than what we saw with like the PlayStation Classic, which just felt like a cash grab. So this is the console if you were truly a Sega fan. But like you said, if you just want to, you know, throw on and play Sonic 2, that's not going to happen on this thing unless you mod it. So
I also got some concerns about modding. I meant to bring it up in my review, but I didn't feel knowledgeable enough to do it. I'm going to wait till you do your stuff. But where they included the Sega CD games, Sega CD games are usually a little bit more robust memory-wise than regular Genesis games. So I'm wondering how much internal memory is left to actually hack this thing. If there's enough room to put games on it, more than likely you're going to have to use a USB to really add a bunch of games to this.
Well, it's an interesting perspective because there with Hackchi, which is most likely going to be the same modding platform that you're going to use for this console, you do have the option to sideload the games into the internal memory or run off of a USB drive. If you ask me, I will always load off of a USB drive. And the reason for that is because if I ever screw something up, all I have to do is just wipe my USB drive and reload the hack onto the USB drive. The console is still good. And if I just launch it without the USB drive, it'll be stock. So that's kind of my perspective. But you're not going to be able to get a full Sega CD library on this thing, I don't think, with what they have in there in terms of internal storage space.
And I saw your video earlier. Mike did a great job with that. It got me thinking because the other day I had my nieces and nephews over, and I think the oldest is probably 25 maybe, and he played the old Genesis. He says, "Hey, you got a Genesis?" I said, "I got this mini," and I had put the hack on it. I have the first one, not the one, not the two, but I have the original one. And I had a hack, and I couldn't remember if I had hacked it or not. But once he started playing the games, he was telling me, "Oh, this game wasn't on it. This game was on it." And so we played quite a few games. I did pick up the now the first Genesis came with 2 3-button controllers. I see yours came with just a single 6-button. I did pick up the 6-button that Restalgia had recommended, which is pretty similar to the one that came with the second one, and that made playing Mortal Kombat and things like that I loaded on it much fun, more fun. But he really enjoys it. I was really surprised his generation really understood the Genesis and remembered it. He was all in. Down here he plays Street Fighter on a Big Blue, but otherwise he was on that Genesis all day.
Did you guys see the flash of young MichaelB on the screen? Looking pretty fly. Now I see why Laura said yes.
Oh yeah, 10 years ago, man. I've been on YouTube a long time.
10 years ago, MichaelB, remember when you texted me that one day? You're like, MichaelB pulls. He pulls. That was pretty funny. That was like the best text message I ever got from you. I was like, Mike, how did you score such a beautiful wife? And he responds, MichaelB pulls. He pulls. It was the best text message I ever got in my life. But Mike, I'm sorry, my friend. I have to disagree with you on your pure and utter hatred of this particular device, because I know the truth. I know the truth. And what you did was completely unacceptable today. And the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, MichaelB shit all over the Sega Genesis Mini is because he is covertly working for the Nintendo Entertainment System team. As you can see right here, I have photographic proof right here. This is MichaelB testing the NES Mini in his office. You guys, it's like, you guys are watching like, these stand-up comedies on TV. You guys never see the fourth wall. Guys, this is the fourth wall. This is what MichaelB's wall looks like that you don't get to see, that he plays on. Acid wash jeans, mullets, the whole shebang. You are an NES shill, admit it.
Whoever made this photo got like literally even the filtering perfect. Yeah. This is excellent.
Is there any way you can send that to me? That is amazing. I'm going to get that framed and put on my wall.
It should be your new. It should be your new YouTube icon.
Yep,
it's your cover photo.
But this is why you crapped all over the Sega Classic, is because you're a Nintendo shill. Plain and simple.
That has to be the thing. See, if you like a product, you have to say everything is perfect with it, and then no other competitors can have good products. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah. All right, we can get that off the screen here, guys. That was our icebreaker for tonight's show. All right, Mike. Do you want to talk movie trailers, or do you want to dive into some video game stuff? What do you want to talk about first, Mike?
I think me personally, I'd like to save the movie trailers for maybe a little later on in the show.
Okay, cool. Does everyone agree with Mike, or is he just being a tyrannical captain of the ship right now?
So surprisingly, I agree with Mike for the second time in a single episode. It doesn't feel right. Actually,
it's like we're in the Twilight Zone, man. We are in the
Twilight Zone. I'm gonna have to have a shower after the show's done. Feel gross.
All right.
And Mike, I can relate to your picture there because I was the Nintendo guy.
Yeah.
I didn't really do Sega. My next door neighbor did Sega, so we had the best of both worlds. So he would come over, I would go over here. But I didn't get Sega till late on for sure.
Yeah, I think I talked about it a little while ago. Everybody in my neighborhood had a TurboGrafx 16 growing up, but the real oddity was somebody having a Sega Master System. Did you grow up around anybody that actually had a Sega Master System? Do you remember playing it when you were a kid?
Not at all.
I remember going over to someone's house and they had like Double Dragon on the Master System, and I was like, "This isn't Double Dragon. This is not what I remember."
Oh man, it wasn't until it was probably maybe 15 or 20 years ago that I learned that the Master System was a different system than the Mega Drive. I didn't know that they were two different things.
Are you serious? And the funny thing was that the Master System was actually a really super powerful system. Got some really super quality games. It's really neat. Has some of the worst box art ever, but man, oh man, am I nostalgic for that Master System. Also, the controller is terrible.
All right, so big heads up. Let's go ahead and dive into some arcade and video game topic. The company with the least amount of news, so we'll go through them first, would be iArcade. But before we do that, we got a $2 super chat from Jeff Walsh. Sega does what Nintendo don't. That is a classic joke, my friends. Classic joke. All right, let's take a look here. So iArcade today released in their store. What is this game, Michael B? I think you have a little bit of history with this game.
Yeah, this is Ninja Spirit. I have a lot of experience playing this in the TurboGrafx 16. I actually didn't even know it was an arcade game. I thought it was a game developed directly for the TurboGrafx 16. First time I saw it was when we went to Galloping Ghost, and I was like, holy shit, it's an arcade game. So iArcade released it today. I picked it up. I played it. It is badass. What a great experience. It's not one of those ones that you remember going into like every single arcade and you'd see it everywhere, but it's a hidden gem. Definitely try it out. The action is fast, exciting, and I will advise you on the first level, don't mess around with the sword, the shurikens, anything like that. Use that rope sickle weapon. That's what you want to do on the first level. That'll help you out real easy.
Yeah, let us know in the live chat, guys. Do you have any experience, knowledge? Have you ever played Ninja Spirit? Is Mike overhyping this game, or is this game too legit to quit? I myself have never played this game, so I think they released it. I think it's like, is it $7? $7 in their store?
No,
like
it's $10. $10. Unfortunately,
$10.
I mean, I would love to see the arcade games be around $7.99 US, but still, $10. I was happy to pay it. It's definitely a major graphical upgrade compared to the TurboGrafx 16 version, but it keeps all the same action. It's fast paced, controls well. I saw Bobby Boo actually mention after he picked it up, he's a little upset because the attack button and jump button are switched around for him, but it's really easy to pick up and play. Just 3 buttons on the top. You jump, attack, and then you've got a button for changing your weapon. So definitely try out Ninja Spirit. You guys are going to love it. I love it. And if you don't love it, fight me.
I've never seen that game before, but it kind of reminds me of Legend of Cage.
Kage.
Or is the
Kage.
gameplay a little bit different? Anyone?
You
guys know that game, Legend of Cage?
I'm sorry. I was just so enamored by Gunther and King Creole here that
$1 Million Smiles.
The big smiles, my dudes, the big smiles. Go ahead. Restalgia, what was it that you said?
I just said I've never seen that game before, but from the trailers, it kind of reminded me of Legend of Cage.
That's a fair assessment. This
Justin,
is much better, though.
It is
Justin,
better? Okay.
Just in time. Nice. Just in time. I like that. Just in time. Nice handle. Give us $5 super chat. He said, happy Friday, guys. Did any of you have Sega Channel? I had it on my Sega Genesis Nomad, which I still have, actually. I did not, my friend. Did anyone else here? Did you guys?
I never personally, but I babysat some kids that actually had it for a little while. It was weird. It's not something I think my parents would have been happy with paying, and I didn't see a lot of value in it. But we get the modern day version of that now with Xbox Game Pass, which is, Sega was ahead of its time, really.
I gotcha. So that's pretty much it for iArcade. They released one game this week, and hopefully before the end of the year. I mean, we only got a few weeks left. They did at least listen to fan feedback where fans and were like, hey, we would like some kind of rollout schedule, right? Like, tell us when games are coming out. Because if you guys remember, everything with them has been pretty hush-hush, secret, right? Ever since the Mutant Football League debacle, they went into super secret. We're not going to tell you what's being released when. People have been complaining for months in their community, like, we want to know what's coming out for us to stay excited about this platform. And they're finally doing that, right? So they did a release schedule when they announced the AtGames and all these iRoom games. There's like 5 or 6 of them. I think a couple of them have already come out, and there's a couple more scheduled to come out. They've actually been releasing a schedule, so that's great. Good improvement communication-wise there on their game releases. But I'm really hoping they end the year with a big surprise. Like, give us something. Like, tell us something really cool is happening, whether it's like light gun firmware is going live, new user interfaces coming out, or we got like some great new titles coming, new licenses, partnerships. Like, I really hope they end the year with a bang, because I feel like last year may have been more exciting for the iArcade brand than this year. Do you guys think that's a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I mean, I think they're servicing different markets. Like right now, they're trying to find these classic arcade games, and I guess a lot of their fan base has been vocal asking for that. Last year, we got a lot more modern games. We got like Mayhem Brawler, we got Retromania Wrestling. There was so much cool shit like that, and there hasn't been as much of that this year. If anybody's following, I follow Hero Concept on Twitter, and they've actually been putting up a lot of stuff about Mayhem Brawler too. So I'm hoping that also makes its way to the iArcade.
Yeah, and I have to say the iArcade is the least played cabinet in my collection, but I've noticed, because I turn on all the cabinets when I come down and I want to play, and with their screensaver, their attract mode, lately I've been seeing a lot of things that really have caught my attention, but I don't think they have a way for me to just hit a button and just say like, I want to go to that game. I wish they would give that option, because I see some things like it goes by. I'm like, what was that game? So I think that's a good idea that they're advertising it, but they have to go the next step and allow you to go and hit a button, a button or something, and launch into that game to let you buy it, or at least give you more information about it versus just disappearing. But that's I've been seeing a whole lot more attractive games that look fun. I haven't played them, but they look real fun.
What do you think, Restalgia? You've been pretty quiet when it comes to our iArcade chat here. What do you think about all this?
I think your initial assessment that last year was a little bit more impactful than this past year is true. What I would really like to see them come out with some sort of like really big title in terms of something modern that could run on it. Obviously, Pie in the Sky is something like Cuphead, but like something like that isn't something you could load up on any of the other machines. Are they going to go that route? No idea. I think realistically, what they need to focus on, outside of trying to capture some of the AAA IP that's old school arcade, I really think they need to go after some of the App Store games, because there's a lot of good titles and probably some pretty good IP that they can capture in there that won't be locked up in potential, other agreements that some other companies have. So I think I would like to see that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm a big supporter of the iArcade. I actually think I play the iArcade more than any of my other machines, any of the other machines I've ever owned. So I just hope they bring some quality titles in the upcoming year.
Can I ask you a question now? When you say that you play the iArcade more than any of your other machines, based on your recent track record and how you only finished Immortals Phoenix Rising the other day, so what is that? You played it for like 4 hours?
Listen, my statement is true. Regardless of the quantity, the statement is still factually accurate, and I stand behind it.
We got Shredder's Revenge would be cool on iArcade. I think a lot of people have been requesting that, but you know what's funny is when it comes to Shredder's Revenge, we all were hoping with iArcade's relationship with .emu that this would happen, right? That this would come out, myself included, right? But here's the funny thing is, because I have it on my Xbox, I have it on my Switch, and I have it on Steam, and I can't tell you the number of times I'd be playing on my Steam Deck with Hollywood Polo. Hollywood Polo, if you're in the chat, let me know. I would turn my Steam Deck on. You guys know I play my Steam Deck in bed at night, 11 o'clock at night. And I got to say, man, I spent more time with Hollywood Polo over the last few months than my wife in bed, because me and him were always playing Shredder's Revenge at like 11, 12 o'clock at night, right? My wife's story next to me, right? And me and Polo are playing Shredder's Revenge. Bottom line, here's the funny thing is, what I'm trying to say is, you guys know me, it takes me forever to get to the point, is when it comes to Shredder's Revenge, I'm kind of played out of Shredder's Revenge. Like, if they released it, like, I would be like, that's great for them, but I've played it so much. You know what I mean? I've put like 10 hours into it on Steam, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours into it on other consoles. Like I don't see myself playing more Shredder's Revenge if iArcade gets it. Does that make sense? Like I burnt myself out.
Yeah, it totally makes sense for you. There's an elephant in the room with Shredder's Revenge too. That there's a rumor out there that Arcade1Up has pretty much blocked it from appearing on any other home console. So we'll see what happens with Shredder's Revenge. I don't know how Arcade1Up would use it or implement it on a future Turtles cab just for the button layout and how it would work. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's true. A lot. Then again, playing it on an arcade cabinet is cool. That is true. That is true.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
there's certain things. There's certain things that I mean, we have so many gadgets. We have so many ways
Yeah.
to play, so many different things, and you just certain things you just find your niche for. Like for me with the golf, I only play that on the handheld. I hadn't even played golf on here since I've been playing that. But I played it yesterday for the first time in a long time. But there's just certain things that you gravitate to for the convenience or nostalgic or whatever the feeling is. You sort of stick to what you like.
What do you guys think about your average gamer popping in Guilty Gears as a game recommendation? What do you guys think about that? Had any of you heard of that?
Yeah,
Play
Guilty Gears is a really awesome franchise.
That might be cool.
He makes a good point too, because one of the things about the iArcade that it could be really super utilized for is a lot of the games that you're going to see online on other arcades and stuff like that. Guilty Gear might not show up on an Arcade1Up or something like that, but if it can come on the iArcade, then there's ability to actually play it online as well. That could also bring the fight game community around the iArcade as well. There's other games that are maybe lower quality, like Time Killers and stuff like that. Sorry, Daniel Pacina. Or what's the other one? Bloodstorm. Bloodstorm is the other one that he was in. So, but it'd be nice if they've got a great online system. So it'd be nice to see more games like that and have people actually online fighting against each other.
Good stuff. Hey, good game recommendation, UAG. You got looks like a lot of viewers in the live chat also agree with him that they should go after that IP. There you go. All right, let's switch gears here, guys, because we got a lot of ground to cover. I want to just talk about this real quick, if that's okay with you guys, and that is the Evercade EXP handheld. So 2 days ago on the Evercade YouTube channel, their official corporate YouTube channel, they put out this video that walks you through the entire device, the entire handheld, what all the buttons do, what all the lights mean, because this has got several lights telling you when it's charging, when it needs charge, when the battery's dying, what mode you're in, etc., how the built-in games look, and all this stuff. I gotta say, I watched this entire video. It's only 7 minutes long, and I was pretty impressed with what I saw. Like, I'm actually kind of happy now, because if you guys remember, I said, no, I don't need this. I have enough handhelds in my life. I'm not going to order it. Well, then after like the Capcom announcement and stuff, I went ahead and I ordered it, right? So, whatchamacallit, I think this looks pretty cool, especially the whole tape mode thing. You know what I'm saying? So, did you guys catch this? And what do you guys think of this Evercade EXP Restalgia? You have a little bit of a relationship with them.
Yeah. I mean, I like this device. I like handhelds in general, though. Like, I have more handhelds than I have like fingers and toes. So I don't know if it's an obsession, but I really like handhelds. I like the concept of Evercade as a company allowing you to purchase licensed cartridges and swap them and kind of get that nostalgic feel for it. So, I mean, I just like the device. I really like the design. I'm really glad that they ditched the ugly white and red color combination and they went with a nice clean white look versus or the black look for the I don't know if it's called the Founders Edition or Limited Edition or whatever it is, but they have the black one, which looks really nice too. I think they've done really well. The UI looks super clean, super clean. This is what a UI on a handheld should look like,
or an iArcade.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the mode where you can swap it to the side and you can actually play some games. Now, obviously, that's not super practical. It's going to be used for just a handful of titles, but it is a good way to utilize the landscape screen. So yeah, I'm a big fan. I like the Evercade XP.
So yeah, you said that comment about you really like handhelds. That also explains your love life. So that makes sense.
It's true and true throughout my entire life.
And yes, I say Tate when it should be Tate. You know, there's going to be people who always have to correct pronunciations in the comments after the show is over.
Yeah, but they're all wrong. It's actually taint mode.
It's Taint. It's Taint. Yeah. So, and it's got the button to switch into Taint mode. You just have to, is right there. It's got a T on it. Nice big T. So you know what mode you're in. And you can just hot press the button at any time and flip back and forth. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the Evercade EXP as well. Like when you brought it up and you're like, can we talk about this? I'm like, hells yeah. They're making some pretty big moves. I mean, bringing in Capcom really shows that company is moving in a direction that's really super positive. And they've got a great community of fans, people that are interested in it. They don't like the new direction that like gaming and everything's going to, where there's no more physical media. So I like what they're doing. I love the Evercade VS. I mean, the UI, everything's great on that, the options on that. So I'm very excited about this as well. My daughter loves the old Evercade system itself. So when I get my EXP, I'll give the other Evercade to her and let her play her card game by herself all the time.
Well, I think it's ain't for me. Okay. I don't. I'm on the other side of the fence with this. You know, most of the games I've seen on there, it's really the games I prefer to stand up at a cabinet and play. You know, I have my what's the thing we talked about with the golf, the Nintendo Switch, and I have some old arcade games on there. I have Mortal Kombat on the 11 or 14, whatever the hell it is. You know, and I just cannot. I just don't like playing those games on that handheld. So for me, you know, with the handheld, it even took me a while to even find a game that I like, and it happens to be golf at this point in time. But those games I'd like standing up at the cabinet with. So when I look at that, it's just I'm not the market for it, but it looks pretty cool.
Good stuff, my dudes. Good stuff. All right, let's get off that. And also, they're shipping December 15th. It looks like they're on schedule. They made an announcement. So your EXPs should be shipping in 2 weeks. So if you pre-ordered it, like I know I did. So hopefully it's as cool as it looks upon receipt. We'll find out when we get it. There you guys go. All right, so let's take care of that right there. Let's pivot over to AtGames. AtGames gave us some footage, and they probably put it on their social media by now because it's been a few hours. But they gave us some footage of Fox and Socks. You guys want to check that out?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let me see if I can find a good way to pull it up here for you. And I definitely want to get the live chat's feedback to Fox and Socks. I know I did a stream where we showed the footage for the other games. Sure, video file. Here it is. All right. Sorry, guys. New streaming software, so still trying to remember where everything goes. So we've seen footage of Cat in the Hat, as well as How the Grinch Stole Christmas. We were waiting to see some Fox and Socks gameplay, so we're going to get pulled up for you guys right now. Let's check it out. Pull it up. And let me go to this camera. Let us know what you think, guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right, we can do play-by-play. We can do play-by-play.
Boing.
Oi, 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 oi.
She's a babe. Boing.
Little Bullwinkle. You know, I definitely prefer the tables that have that stopper at the bottom to give you some chance like that of recovering.
Oh, you like that stopper on the bottom?
Yeah, I prefer to have that in some of the games.
Nah, I don't need a pinball butt plug.
I've actually added it to a couple of my tables that I really like that don't have them.
We'll I got a photo. We'll zoom in on the table for you guys after the video is done here. Just wanted you guys to get a little bit of a feel for the table here. Let's go full screen on this. Let's see here.
Now, what I am liking, what I see is that the physics of the ball seems to be, pretty accurate. We're not getting that floating ball like we get on some of the older tables.
Video's almost done. We got about 10 more seconds. Keep the feedback coming in the live chat, guys. I just didn't want to cover it with your comments. All right, there you guys go. There you guys go. All right, so what was our initial reactions here to Fox and Sox? What'd you guys think about that?
Well, one of the things I was saying that I think the physics looks pretty good for the ball, and the movement is not floating. It seems to be falling and rolling properly. So it looks good.
You know why that is? Because that was played on a Legend Core Max in 1080p, 60 frames per second.
I saw a mixed feedback from our live chat because, not every video game's for everybody. Some people said too many flippers, although this table out of all the Dr. Seuss tables has the least amount of flippers on it, which I'll show you guys here in a minute. And also some people really like it. They like the sounds and all that stuff, music. So some people like it, some people don't. Hey, man, that's why we do these podcast shows. Greatly appreciate it. We did confirm with AtGames that all of these games will have voice acting, voiceovers included when they're released. So once again, we got a clip of footage without any voice callouts, like saying combo or multi-ball or skill shot. Like, I don't know why AtGames keeps sending out footage that doesn't include the voices. But when I did a stream and I showed the footage of the games, there were no voices, and a lot of people were like, virtual pinball, you got to have or even pinball games, calling things out as you're doing things on the table, go for the ramp, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And they weren't in those clips, but apparently per AtGames, all three games will have voice acting built-in call-out stuff during gameplay. So hopefully we'll see some of that. I got a zoomed in here photo of the table, guys. Let's kind of take a look here at this table, and so you guys can maybe get a better look at it. In fact, let's switch to this camera view. All right, guys. So we're going to take a peek here. So that appears to be 19K Fox in the top right corner. It looks like he's on a pair of skis. Oh, real quick, we got a $5 super chat from Scarpad. That Fox and Sox table sounds like me putting on my pants. Might want to go a size up, buddy. Might want to go a size up. All right. So let's kind of scroll down the table. Let's see what we see. Now, I'm not very familiar with the Fox and Sox book. Like, I know Cat in the Hat and the Grinch kind of like cover to cover. Like, I know the stories. Like, I can't tell you what the story is behind this game. Michael B., do you know? Have you read this to Scarlett recently?
No, I only read Hop on Pop, and it's an absolute travesty that everything exists that they didn't do a Hop on Pop table.
Oh, okay.
This was my daughter's favorite Dr. Seuss book for a very long time. So I've read this book the better part of 100 times or more. So
I'm gonna be super critical of this in a couple minutes, but I do want to say that I've been really pushing for 19K Fox to get an AtGames Legends pinball table, because it's honestly right now you can get them at certain Sam's Clubs for like $3.99 and even less sometimes. And that's a ridiculous value on what's easily the best affordable home arcade pinball machine on the market right now. So I hope that he gets back from Hawaii, gives in and buys one, and then does a talk about it on Sunday on a show, and wears nothing but himself a la Buff wearing a pair of socks.
No. You got this all wrong. What he needs to do is this. All right. And this would be the Instagram post picture of the year in this community. 19K Fox needs to put on an orange tracksuit. I'm talking orange top, orange bottoms, and a pair of bright blue shoes and gloves. And we will have Fox and socks. I think it would be fantastic. Bright blue socks. I said shoes. I meant socks. But 19K Fox, make sure you can give us that photo op once you get back in town. You'll notice here that there's 2 upper levels. You got this upper level section here. You got another upper level section here and a whole bunch of pop bumpers underneath that upper level over there. More pop bumpers over here. One piece of critical feedback I do have about this set of games is that all 3 games, all 3 Dr. Seuss games are loaded, if you can follow my mouse over here, loaded with just spot targets. Like, spot targets are everywhere. Spot, 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 spot. No drop targets. Like change one of these to drop targets. You know what I mean? Like, change up the style of the table. Like, here's more spot targets right here. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, change it up a little bit. I think these might be drop targets right here, but you gotta change it up. All 3 tables have way too many spot targets, in my opinion. A lot of people are complaining about too many flippers. Me, I'm like, too many spot targets, but that's just me. And then, of course, go ahead.
I wanted Restalgia. Once you get there, Mike, I want Restalgia to tell me the story of this Pop and Stop, the Clip Notes version. Because I don't remember it either. Go ahead, Mike.
Mm-hmm. So I will say I am super critical of this. I think like this partnership is great. My kid is in love with the AtGames Legends Pinball Micro. She's gonna super enjoy getting these, and I'm really excited. But after seeing what they did with natural history tables and seeing these tables in action, it does feel like a little bit of a step back. I mean, there's so much you could do with this. You mentioned the voices. Man, it's like Dr. Seuss. Like, we've got animated backgrounds there. You could have more than just, and that's what I hate about the Zachariah Deluxe tables. They all basically have the exact same animations for the DMD. It's modern, but it's just like copy and paste onto the next table. It would have been nice to see some actual shit, like, done with Dr. Seuss art. And honestly, the tables, they look cool, and you've got like these characters and stuff like that, maybe a couple, but it seems like it's few and far between. Like, it's almost an afterthought to throw some of these 3D models in there. This is going to be awesome, I'm sure, but it's definitely still more of a retro experience and not more modern, like something you would see from Zen or even some of the new Stern tables. So it'd be really nice if Zachariah could move forward a little bit. Still, I think this is going to be awesome, but I got to be honest. I got to throw some critical feedback out there, how AtGames can keep improving these tables.
Yeah, there's always opportunity for improvement on these tables, right? Like, keep in mind too. Do you guys remember the Taito tables or Tato tables, or whatever pronunciation grammar police are out there? Those ended up getting changed because a lot of people were like, "Hey, these appear to be reskins of like some old Gottlieb tables, right? They're like reskins of some old Gottlieb tables, same exact assets, same table, toys and stuff, just with like frontline artwork on it or things like that." And AtGames and Magic Pixel later on, they went in and they changed the tables around. You guys remember that? Like, they changed where spot targets are, drop targets are, ramps and things, and table specials and table goals. They move things around to make it truly more unique versus just a skin of another table. So it is completely possible for them to release it and then update it later, because they've done it before based upon community feedback. So there you go. There you go. Restalgia.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
I'm okay with these tables. I love the IP so much. Like, I love the Dr. Seuss themes. Probably because I've got a kid, and like for the last 9 years, it's been Dr. Seuss since she was born, all the way up into the point where she started reading them to us. When I look at these tables, they look good. There's clearly some spots that you could improve on. There's lots of things that maybe I would have liked to see differently. But the biggest thing I think that I thought was going to be like a deal breaker on these is the music. And so far, from what we've heard, the background music is good. I think the sound effects are maybe a little bit aggressive. They kind of like just carry on a little bit too much. But going to the voiceover thing, I think if they do simple things like you said, PDubs, with like just saying combo or like whatever, I think that's a wasted opportunity. I think what we need is Dr. Seuss like voices guiding you on how to get higher scores. So like take the ramp to the left, or like stuff like that, with like kind of like a playfulness to it. I think that's what they need to do with all of the voiceover stuff. So
you want it to be more modernish and interactive.
Yeah. I mean, these are from from scratch tables. Let's make them as modern as possible.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't
and
have
that's
to
an
pretend they were
easy-
made in the 70s. Sorry, Carl. I'm
Well,
sorry.
no, well, pinball, usually has instructions on this little tiny card, right? And most people, it's so tiny that most people don't even read them to even know what the objectives are. So I think Restalgia's on a good track if they could implement that in a way where it's encouraging you to do the things to meet those objectives. Then it makes a much more understandable table and enjoyable table, and people would play the table because most of the time with pinball, if you don't understand objectives, you just trying to keep the ball in bounds, you kind of you get lost in the sauce, you know what I mean? And you don't really get to enjoy the table because you never meet those objectives that really set the table apart.
So again, I really, really like what they're doing with Dr. Seuss. I'm excited about these, but I did see a lot of people in the chat mention that they still want recreations of original tables and some more modern stuff. So I saw a couple of people bring up Jersey Jack. I mean, I don't think AtGames should lose sight on something like that. If Stern is locked up, or if Williams is locked up under another license holder, look at the other options out there. Maybe there's Jersey Jack, there's American Pinball, there's Spooky Pinball, and don't lose sight on possibly doing some more real tables as well. All this stuff you're doing is cool, but I think there's still a market for people that want real tables recreated on your AtGames Legends pinball machine.
Good stuff, Mike. Really good stuff. All right. So viewer Jason just sent me an email, and it's actually kind of funny. He said that he fixed, man, you guys are quick with the Photoshop. He fixed Fox and Socks to make it better. All right. Since he went through all this effort, we will go ahead and share this because I do find this kind of funny. Ladies and gentlemen, he says all Fox and Socks needs is more flippers, guys. That's it. So he added more. He added more flippers. He added a ton of flippers to Fox and Socks. Oh, that's pretty funny, Jason.
Typical AtGames. They're just ripping off Time Machine again.
Yeah, that made me laugh. But look at all those flippers that he put on there. That was pretty funny. Well done, Jason. You are a humorous young man. Greatly appreciate it. So let's get that off of here. All right, so that's what's going on with AtGames. Oh, plus, Mike, don't they have a bunch of stuff on sale right now?
Yeah, there's another line of sales coming up. So if you guys missed their last 9 sales they've done in the last 2 months, there's another one coming up this Christmas. The Christmas sale, all jokes aside, there's going to be different price quantities and some really good deals on some products. So go check it out from their store. Like there's products that, I would highly recommend, like the Bit LCD marquee, the BitPixel HV. If you're not going to get a back box from like Buy Stuff Store and change it out, that's so crucial for doing DMDs and stuff on your pinball machine. There's lots of value there. Great time every time AtGames has a sale for you to jump in and pick something up. Even the Pinball Micro. Pinball Micro is an amazing product that I'm happy to tell people how legitimately good it is. And especially if you can get it for like $100 off during one of AtGames sales, definitely do it.
Good stuff, Mike. Greatly appreciate it. All right, let's pivot over to Arcade1Up, Mike. Who is he? Where's that rascal? He's in the live chat right now. Here he is. Console Kids. He did a live stream last night, had a bunch of guys on from the community, and they hosted an announcement for Code Mystics. That Arcade1Up Killer Instinct cabinets, whether you have the original 3/4 scale or the upcoming Pro Edition, is going to have spectating mode, and it's in beta. And you can join the beta and test it out. So what do you guys think about that whole, and apparently Code Mystics did this for free and all that kinds of stuff. Like, what do you guys think? Can I get some reactions here?
So, guys, if you want your Marvel vs. Capcom 2 online and all Blitz to be online, you're going to have to rely on people from the community doing it for free.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Just a joke. But I love that Code Mystics did this. This is, especially with the Pro Cab coming out, Carl, we got to feel pretty good about this now because we can get down on spectating tournaments and we can be involved with our better controls and our bigger screen and our Yamaha. Is it Yamaha speakers that are going to be in that?
It's Yamaha, not Yamaha. It's not like a Christmas. It's not like it's not like yams at
Put on your
dinner.
Yamaha. It's time for Hanukkah.
I'm sorry, Mike. Even with those better controls and bigger screens, you're not going to be any better.
Oh no, I'm shit at Killer
Yeah.
Instinct. I know.
Yeah,
Great
but we'll be able
comment.
to watch real players play.
That's true.
You know,
That's it.
This is probably the story, and Paul, fantastic comment by Paul here, because I do agree with him. The fact that Code Mystics did it for free says everything. Everything great about them, but not so great about Arcade1Up. I mean, I can't argue with that comment, Paul. Like, that's
well,
pretty cool.
I mean, here's the reality of it. You know, Code Mystics, they have the code, right? They can plug. They've got probably all kinds of stuff that they've tinkered with and messed around with. You know what I mean? That what we won't ever see. So it's good that they are sharing some of the improvements they've made. Obviously, they're Arcade1Up is not a coding company themselves; they're a toy company, and so for them to share that with the community is pretty awesome.
I agree. I think it's awesome that I even did a stream late last night saying I can't be mad at Code Mystics. I think what they did was pretty cool, pretty generous, provided that they did do this for free of charge, etc.
What do you
Restalgia
think they mean by the Code Mystics? Oh, hold on, go up a little bit. Yeah, Code Mystics, Killer Instinct, Spectating, and then in brackets and more beta.
Oh, because they added some more stuff besides just spectating. So you have a whole mess of stuff in here. Hang on. I think I have a list somewhere.
One of the things that PDubs was talking about in his string last night was you sort of have like the king of the mountain type of thing. So think about right now, if I fired up my big blue and I started a room or whatever, and someone came in and they beat me, and I'm like, they beat me up, I abandoned the room, right? So that kicks everybody out. Well, with this beta thing here, whoever wins controls the room. So
I gotcha.
So if you're in there kicking butt, and it's like, I'm out of here. Now your mountain goes with me, right? So you get to stay there, and whoever else wants to come in challenge you. So I think that's a pretty smart feature to add to that.
So I'm going to get myself in a lot of trouble here, but there's a comment there from Jason Tierney. Can you bring it up?
This one right here?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's not for sure. Look at ArcadeNet.
That's funny. Well, Jason used to work for AtGames, so that's kind of funny, Mike. You're you really just dug the dagger in deep and the shoulder blades there on poor old Jason Tierney. Poor guy. All right, so
we
Restalgia. I need your thoughts on this, Restalgia. Your emulation expertise
on spectate mode. I don't think there's much emulation talk about spectate mode.
Well, the whole process of Arcade1Up didn't include this, and now Code Mystics had to spend several months getting this ready. But here, I mean, it's ready, but it's not ready. It's a beta. It's like NFL Blitz Online. It's like it's ready, but it's not ready. It's a beta. You know what I mean? Like, why can't they do the beta testing and then just officially release it? Why are we the beta testers?
Because time is money, PDubs. Time is money. Now, see what I would find interesting. Killer Instinct, they're doing the spectate mode. They claim to have 500 units of the Pro machine, and I don't know how many units of the original Killer Instinct they sold, but it seems like a lot of energy is being put into Killer Instinct, and maybe they'll expand this out across a lot of other games and things like that. But what I think would be a really cool thing to do, and I said this in our group chat between the four of us, was to do some sort of crossplay, not against a different arcade cabinet, but potentially against a different console. So like Xbox has the Killer Instinct games that you can play online. It'd be really awesome if they were somehow able to do crossplay. So if somebody was on their Killer Instinct cabinet, they could find an opponent who happens to be on an Xbox and play with them, just to give you a larger pool of people to play against. And then that plays into the whole spectate mode, because you've got a massively larger audience. You've got a massively larger sample size that might be interested in actually watching or running tournaments or whatever it is that you're going to do with spectate mode. I just think that would be like the ultimate power move if Arcade1Up could potentially get that working with Code Mystics.
So some of the things that are included in this beta is match stats. So it will display somebody's win-loss record at the bottom of the screen, just like you're used to seeing on the Capcom cabinets from Arcade1Up, but I think on the Capcom cabinets, this is at the top of the screen, so you can see the win-loss records. You have the winner kick privilege, so if you beat somebody, you have the ability where you can kick them. You can tell them to kick rocks, send them away. So the winner kick privilege, the winner can select who their next opponent is. You don't have to keep fighting the same person over and over and over. Although, in my opinion, like anytime I've ever done a fighting game online with people, like I at least go first to 3. I think that might be an unwritten rule. Correct me if I'm wrong out there, guys. It's kind of like a moral code. You know what I mean? Like you do first to 3, and then you either leave or keep going, right? So try and at least beat somebody 3 times before you kick them to the curb. Obviously, the spectate mode where you'll have the ability to watch other people's matches, and what's interesting is it's not going to be like a lobby per se, but I guess down here where this little eyeball is, if you see the eyeball, I guess that means there's 2 people fighting, and you can now click on it and go spectate. You could do passcodes for private matches, and you can easily reconnect to hosted sessions with players who you've been disconnected from, so you'll be able to connect faster, better with people, etc. So that's what's going on with this. All a free gift courtesy of Code Mystics to Arcade1Up Killer Instinct owners. What do you guys think? Is it first to 3 or is it first to 5? Kong would know. I always do 3. I leave at 3, so I hope I didn't piss anyone off.
My normal, if I'm playing fighting online with someone, unless they're ridiculous and just like destroying me, I mean, I'm gonna try to play between 5 and 10 matches against them, even if they win all 5. That's usually what I do. That's my code of honor when I'm playing in the online fighters.
Yeah, and it really comes down to how many people out there are willing to play too at the time that you're on, whether you're going to care about those things or not.
I love this comment by Koga Jangles. First to whenever I win. He's going to be giving people the boot. 1 win and he's done.
So
done.
I got a question about this. I think this is awesome that Code Mystics did it, but I also wonder if it's a possibility. And Restalgia, you would know this because you know more about way these deals work. Is it possible they have like a Jack Nicholson Batman deal where some of their pay is based on the amount of cabinets or amount of units sold by Arcade1Up of Killer Instinct? So maybe this is something that could in turn benefit them in the long run.
I mean, contracts can be created in any which way you want them to be, as long as both parties agree to it being mutually beneficial. So, I mean, what you're saying is possible. Do I think that's the case? I don't know. I think what's more likely the case is Code Mystics has a relationship with Arcade1Up. They've done work with them in the past and obviously been hired to do work for them in the past. This might be a good faith gesture, so that way it continues to build on a relationship and potentially expand on opportunities that may come down the road in the future.
Yeah, maybe they built a model that they could in turn now sell back to Arcade1Up to add spectate mode to other games that didn't come stock with it.
License back.
Yeah.
License back. Yeah.
And I wonder where the liability ends. If this beta was to somehow jack up a cabinet, someone would blame Arcade1Up and not Code Mystic because it's Arcade1Up that's sold on the cabinet. So it's an interesting move, I would think, right?
Code Mystics was very clear in their wording. Like if you go follow their Twitter feed and stuff, this is not an Arcade1Up project, and all concerns, questions go back to them. I don't know if it could brick a cabinet. Like I don't think we're anywhere near that. And if so, I don't think it would even be out in beta testing right now if there was the chance.
Because you're not downloading anything for this spectate. You're just kind of throwing on the switch, right? You're going to an option and saying, yes, I want to be in this beta.
Okay, my dudes. Anything else going on Arcade1Up related, Mike? Because I think, in my opinion, that might be the only Arcade1Up news. Like the sales and deals are trickling away, but they'll probably come back right before Christmas. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I would assume that there's going to be more deals come up around Boxing Day. So after the holiday season, there's still inventory. I think we'll get some pretty big discounts on certain cabs again, probably similar to what we saw during Black Friday. The other thing I do want to mention, if you keep watching in the Arcade1Up official non-official original fan page now, there's been a bunch of posts about people finding like NFL Blitz cabinets at Costco for $300. I posted that earlier, so keep an eye out, guys. Apparently, there some retailers have slid on this quite a bit, and there's a great opportunity to pick this up pretty cheap out there.
A lot of great feedback from folks in the live chat. Your average gamer says you're not obligated. You can opt out, opt in whenever you want. Mike Hawk, there's a lot of people who are putting on the tinfoil hats, saying that there's going to be somebody made money off of this. Where did David go? Comments go. Where did David? Nothing is free in business. There's money being made. I don't know, man. I mean, they hyped it up that they did this pro bono for free, so I would like to think that they're being honest. I'm hoping. Like, I don't think Code Mystics is the kind of company that would, they have a pretty good reputation, is what I'm saying.
But I think what he's saying is that this is more of a marketing expense for Code Mystics than it is a favor to Arcade1Up, right?
That's true. That's true. That's true.
This is going to give Code Mystics a lot of grace within the Arcade1Up community, right? Like, this is nobody's going to say, "Oh, this is terrible." Code Mystics sucks for doing that. No one's going to say that. It's going to just make them look good.
I would love to be in the live chat of somebody who would say that's a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. So, anywho, guys,
Mystics is a super competent group of development team. Like, they know what they're doing.
The only way I could see someone trying to twist this out of what it is, of it being such a positive thing, is someone who has an axe to grind with Arcade1Up really going off the edge and saying, this was Arcade1Up's responsibility. Why didn't they do it?
Kongs R Us, lots of hackers coders do it for the love of the community and gaming, i.e. Team Encoder. We love Team Encoder. There's been no money in it for them, so definitely cool to see this being community driven. They're like Robin Hoods. There you go.
Is this community driven though? This is one corporation, one company to another company. No. This is business to business, right?
100%. When Killer Instinct Cabinet first came out, there was a ton of chat around social media about how community members, especially in the fight game scene, were disappointed there was no spectate mode, and they took that pretty seriously. If you go back and you look at their feed, some of the responses they put out there, they were like, "Sorry guys, like you got to talk to Arcade1Up, they give us the marching orders on what we do with these cabs, and we get paid for a certain thing." But I think they took that into consideration and said, all right, well, maybe there's a way that we can make this work and then monetize it.
All right, my dudes. So anything else going on with Arcade1Up? I think that's it. Like, that was all the news this week, right?
We forgot about the movies. Big finale, man.
I know. I'm trying to get to the movies. Like,
okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, I did want to mention the Dig Dug at Walmart for $2.99. That's a pretty good deal. $2.99's got the backlit marquee and the riser. So that's like going back to the initial price that didn't have all those things. Riser didn't have backlit marquee. So I think that's a pretty nice deal.
Carl, you should buy that and tell me what you think of the screen.
Yeah, it's a one-player game, so I think for the price, I don't think it's that big of a deal because you're standing right in front of it.
Why don't you buy it and tell me what you think of the screen?
Same as my Gallagher back there. You can see the side of the screen.
Yep. Oh, it's worse. Trust me.
All right. Oh, and by the way, how about a shout out to our moderators who've been moderating our show tonight. You guys have done a great job making sure we're keeping it a fun, engaging, and positive environment. We definitely are, guys. It is now, what is that, Mike? When there's no exceptions, no rules, no
zero tolerance.
Zero tolerance. Yeah, zero tolerance. So if two people in the chat are causing drama, ruining the show, you're gonna get blocked. You're gonna get timed out. And if you don't like it, too bad. I don't care. Both people will get blocked. I don't care who started it. We're doing a podcast show, not a daycare. So let's keep on having
me
fun.
And Mike fight then.
No, that's fine. That's part of the show.
Well, that's mostly for entertainment. All right. So I want to talk about some of these movies, man. This is going to be a great year coming up for movies, and let's take a peek here, guys, at some fun.
Down here playing Mario Kart on the Wii the other day when all their cousins were over. So I think they're going to be it's going to be a kick. I'll definitely go with them to the movies and I'll take my 5-hour energy so I don't fall asleep. But they're definitely going to enjoy the movie.
Restalgia, what about you, man?
I love it. I love this. I'm excited to see this. Super, super excited to see this. I showed this trailer to my daughter, and she's stoked. So we're gonna go see this in the movies as soon as we can. And I don't know, man. I'm super excited. Just like Mike said, this is like my childhood idea of what a Mario movie should have been is what we're gonna get. So I can't really see it being bad. And I know people are saying they don't like Mario's voice. Get over it. Like, it sounds fine, and it's gonna be fine, and it's gonna be a good movie, and everyone's gonna enjoy it. So
yeah, people have disposition. I can't say it. Predisposed notions on what Mario's voice should sound like. Obviously, every time he opens his mouth, I expect to hear Captain Lou Albano, but I'm not that lucky. I don't know if Chris Pratt was really the best voice actor to pick. Obviously, we kind of wanted somebody with a sort of an Italian accent, I guess. But I'm not going to let it ruin my enjoyment of what this movie could be.
For a massive generation of future gamers, this voice is going to be what they hear when they think of Mario. That's how, like, think about that. Like, it's a weird thing to think about. Like, for us, this is not Mario's voice, but 15 years from now, people are going to think that is what Mario's voice is. And it's going to be interesting as this evolves over time.
It's going to be like me. Our Sega. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yeah. It's going to be just like that.
Yeah. Does it really sound like he's doing like an Italian accent in the movie?
No.
Or, because I just always envision Mario he's an Italian plumber. That's the way I always envisioned him. So.
Jack Black for Bowser is a great casting. The only one that people really seem to be turned off by is Chris Pratt, and I think people just don't like Chris Pratt. So there's the truth of it. He's a bit of a nut.
He may be, but I'm still gonna reserve all my opinions until I see the whole movie in its entirety. We've only heard like 3 sentences.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I like him. I hope he says, "Hey, it's me, Mario. I'm banging Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter. See you next movie."
Oh man, come on! He can't do that. That would be wrong.
Well, we'll see. We'll see next April.
Yeah, and there's I see Adam Caleb in the chat saying it. There's people that have really, really, when I go to the predisposed notions of what it should be, there's actually a community out there saying this is bullshit. It should only be Charles Martinet, which is the guy who did the voice since like N64 Super Mario Brothers. So like, I mean, I don't know about that. I don't really care. It's not like the same as having what's the guy who just passed away doing Batman's voice, Kevin Conroy. How everybody complains when it's not Kevin Conroy, but yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't think I could sit through a movie of the original Mario voice. Like, it's cool for like the one-off things when you're playing a game and he jumps and he goes, whoa, whoa. But I could not handle 2 hours of Mario talking like that.
Can you imagine if your wife sounded like that and you're like doing like stuff in the bedroom and she's like, "Let's go."
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's the recipe to soft serve mountain, buddy.
There you go. All right. I put a poll in the live chat, guys. Let's get those answers in quickly because I want to pivot over to the next movie. Will you see Super Mario Brothers? Yes, no, or maybe. Some people prefer to wait until like official reviews and things come out before they go to the movie theater. What's funny is when it comes to movies, I don't watch any critic reviews or read articles about movies. I always go see a movie and experience it for myself if I'm personally interested in it. When it comes to like material products, I always like have to watch reviews on the internet about it, like arcade machines. Hell, I need to buy a new power drill, and I was watching review videos on YouTube for like these DeWalt cordless power drills and stuff. You know what I mean? Because it's a material thing. I want to see that kind of stuff. But when it comes to movies, I just go and I make up my own mind if like the trailer excites me.
I agree.
All right. I'm going to give it about 10 more seconds, guys, before we move on to the next movie. Keep the votes coming in. Greatly
I
appreciate
think
it.
it's interesting that you say that about like watching it yourself. There was a movie that came out. A lot of you guys probably know, Black Adam, and it has not very great reviews. If you look at it online, a lot of people said it was bad. I went and saw. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was the best superhero movie DC's ever made, but for an anti-hero that's like not really mainstream, I think they did a good job. So I don't know.
They
I think
did.
you just got to watch the movie and make your own judgment.
Yep.
I like all the DC movies. I haven't really disliked any of the DC movies yet, although I haven't watched Wonder Woman 84.
Oh, that's the reason why you're saying that. It was the
Yeah.
biggest pile of steamy
But,
poop I've ever
like,
seen.
I
Worse,
like
worse than Batman versus Superman.
Oh, no, Batman versus Superman
my mom's Martha.
that was so much better. So much better. But no,
So,
that new Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah, I think they're just going up right now. They tried to replicate what Marvel did, and what they're failing to understand is Marvel have completely reinvented the movie industry. Like, you hear these prolific directors talking about, like Tarantino just did an interview, Scorsese's doing them, and they're saying they've ruined cinema because cinema is now completely changed because of the Marvel movie universe. It's completely changed the way all cinema works, how movies are going to be made going forward. And I just don't think DC, by trying to replicate that, have found their own footing on what they need to do with their own characters. It's all been good, but it also just doesn't compare, right?
I think DC needs to stick with like a much darker superhero theme. Like The Dark Knight was, in my opinion, one of the best representations of Batman, like the Dark Knight series trilogy. But it was really dark. And then they had the Justice League movie, which was kind of dark, but not really. And it was a little bit too much humor, and it was kind of a shitty movie. But then Zack Snyder came back in, and he did his director's cut, and he darkened it. He like got rid of some of the really like crappy jokes, and he put in some extra scenes, and it made the movie maybe not great, but a whole hell of a lot better. And I think that's the path. They just need to stick with like a nice, stable, dark path for all of their movies.
I can tear apart the Batman pretty easily. Like, I think it's been long enough now to be critical of it and not spoilery. I will tell you right now, where that movie failed was in the third act. Like, the fact that the villain was already dealt with and he was dealing with just like useless henchmen. I thought that was so stupid. I thought it like really tore apart the movie for me. I loved the movie, absolutely loved the movie, until the point where he caught the Riddler, and then it was just the same crap they always try to pull of, oh my, it's what they did with Joker too, that I guess people like, and what they did with the Dark Knight is, I don't really have to do anything because I've created this movement around my ideas. And I'm just like, shut up, just have him out, like have a final fight against the villain. That's all he needed to do. You might like it, and you might think it's art. I hated it. I hated the ending of that movie.
Good stuff, my dudes. Good stuff.
I enjoyed that movie quite a bit.
I know. I did it intentionally to mess with you.
You're allowed to have wrong opinions if you want, Mike.
Opinions can't be wrong. They're opinions, not facts.
Well, copyright be damned, guys. Let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Nintendo's
3,
no big deal. Let's go after Marvel too. Let's do it.
Oh,
come on, Disney.
Oh my God. What'd you guys think of the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 trailer? It looks like we are going to see the High Evolutionary, and this is Counter Earth. The High Evolutionary made Counter Earth, and this is where Rocket Raccoon is from. This is where all the creatures who got experimented on are from and stuff. And this trailer looked really
good.
Is it just weird? Does Groot look a little weird?
He's beefy. He's been lifting, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, like his facial structure looks weird. It looks short and stubby.
His head was smaller than because his body's bigger or something.
I'm sorry. When trees regrow, it takes a while for them to lengthen out. Restalgia.
I'm just saying, he looks like ignorant. A Minecraft character.
Yep. But a lot of, and also, hopefully, we'll get the Gamora and Peter Quill. Hopefully, they'll reunite finally. Right.
Any chance you can go back? I've been looking at this a bunch of times, and the gentleman that seems to have Gamora, this guy here, is that the same guy that was like the underling of the guy in the first movie? Is there a chance he's back, or is that a different character?
No, that's the High Evolutionary.
That's the High Evolutionary?
He's
Okay.
right here. Yeah, that's the big villain in this movie, the High Evolutionary. So
Okay.
he likes to experiment on people and creatures and all that kinds of stuff. If you've ever read the comics, so he's the big bad villain. Adam Warlock will be in this movie as well. I think we got a flash of him right
there.
here. So we're finally going to see Adam Warlock show up in the Marvel universe. They did tease him at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I think in the post-credits scene, where they teased that Adam Warlock was coming. Because remember I forget the name of the planet that they were helping at the beginning of that movie. They kind of pissed them off and stole some, batteries, and they're like, well, we're going to create this guy to go after them. So he's also going to be in the movie as well. Warlock is going to be in here, and this is what he looks like. I'm a little disappointed in what he looks like, because Adam Warlock was an awesome looking character in the comic books. And like, I know when they make movies, they're like sometimes they have to change the costumes and things and stuff. But man, here, let me just pull this up.
Adam Warlock's comic book character was good Aryan stock. This is completely off the rails, like, compared to that, right? And that's a joke, guys. Just gonna be careful saying that.
Yeah, don't say that crap. But this is what I was hoping to see, like, to have, like, if Doctor Strange can get away with wearing the big cloak, like, you can do Adam Warlock in the movies wearing the big cloak. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this would have looked really, really cool. But instead, we're getting this. So I'm a little disappointed in what he looks like, but we'll have to see how he turns out in the movies. So yeah, but I was hoping for something a little bit closer to traditional Adam Warlock myself.
So did he always have gold skin? I can't remember that.
Always had gold skin. That's why that
don't know
Aryan
who
comment
this
was terrible. You don't say that.
No. I remembered it differently, and I apologize for that, because I thought he was just like a white dude with like blonde hair. That's why I said that, right?
He was always had the gold skin.
Okay, so this makes me happier with what happened at the end of the movie. I know you don't like the gem in his head, but it certainly explains why like he's gold. And I know they changed a bunch of things, because Adam Warlock is actually supposed to be. That's what pissed me off, because there was a rumor about Adam Warlock being in the second Guardians movie. And in the comics, he's actually Star-Lord's father. So I was confused why they took that jump. But yeah, I'm fine with this, and hopefully he does a good job.
Yes, sir. Oh boy. I wonder if I actually turned off the poll. So what's interesting though is Adam Warlock would always have the soul gem in his forehead, right? Because he had the soul Infinity Stone. But because that got destroyed by Thanos in this universe, what is the gem in his head? And how is that going to impact his powers and things like that? So we'll have to see how they're going to.
I think it's a Hershey's Kiss.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, I like this right here. This makes me think of Austin Powers Gold Member. I love gold. But there you go, man. This one I'm thinking is going to be really good, really good. We also saw in the trailer, we saw flashes of what's her name? Rocket's girlfriend, who's the Otter as well, the Otter from the comic books. So that'll be really cool as well to see Rocket's girlfriend. So I'm excited about it. It's also the last James Gunn Marvel movie, because he's taken over the DC stuff. He's going to be the DC guy. So this will be the last James Gunn Marvel movie from what I heard.
So he's gone?
Yeah, like he's going to be, from what I heard on, what was it, Emergency Awesome, which I follow that channel for pop culture stuff. From what I heard, like, he's going to be the Kevin Feige of like that universe, of the DC universe. He's James Gunn.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong in the live chat, guys, but that's my understanding of it. So it's not going to be the Zack Snyderverse. It's going to be the James Gunniverse over there at DC. Let me know if I'm wrong, guys, in the live chat. Yep, he's the head. He's going to be the Kevin Feige of DC.
But I didn't think that would stop him from doing other things. That was what I understood.
Yeah.
I would imagine that moving over to DC would be a conflict of interest and continuing to work with Marvel.
Well, he's already worked with DC, right? Like, he did the last Suicide Squad movie.
Oh, actually, yeah, you're right. I didn't even remember that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'm-
sometimes contracts get signed, and like they have to fulfill those obligations, and new contracts understand that there's old contracts in place. You never know, right? I'm just shooting from the hip here, so you let me know.
You're shooting, are you? You're shooting.
I'm shooting from the hip. Shooting from the hip. All right, so let's talk about the next one. So, because I'm sorry, guys, I have to save Indiana Jones for the last because that's the one that I'm probably gonna fanboy all over. But
Can we talk Cocaine Bear now? Cocaine Bear.
I still don't know what you're talking about, dude. Like, is this a real thing?
Cocaine Bear is just like Aladdin. It's the same movie, basically.
Oh, well, then I've seen it already. You want the synopsis?
Anyways, I saw this this guy Jay I can't remember Jay's last name now. It goes by, it used to be 3 Kilobyte and JKB on YouTube, and now he just does editing really for Richard. I think he still does his YouTube channel. He was posting about it because he's a cinephile, and there's this movie coming out called Cocaine Bear, and it reminds me of craziness like Snakes on a Plane and Piranha 3D. It looks incredible. Basically, the story is Ray Liotta is a drug dealer, and a bunch of his cocaine falls off a plane and lands in the woods, and the bear starts eating it and goes on a murderous cocaine-filled rampage. It looks incredible.
Yeah, it's Restalgia, just like Cujo, except it's a bear.
I'm looking at some of the images here for this movie. Oh my god, Mike, this looks so stupid.
I know, and that's the best part.
You guys are so funny.
And it ties in with iiRcade's new release, Cocaine Bearsis.
Yeah. That's funny. Is there anybody else that's good in this movie?
It's about a bear that, and also, you ever see the dude that does the commercials like, oh, you think I care about IKEA? I think he's in the movie, like that TikToker guy.
That's Scott Cease.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about. It looks like also the guy who was in Game of Thrones, the guy with the big redheaded guy that was from Outside the Wall. I can't remember the character's name.
Oh,
you know
you
who
guys
I'm talking
are
about?
hilarious.
David H does bring it up. It says it's based on a true story. That's the craziest thing.
All
right, it doesn't. It doesn't say that.
The son is in there, so this is going to be his breakout movie.
Interesting.
Old
All right.
Shay Jackson.
All right. Now to talk about something that's actually interesting.
Cocaine Bear is interesting.
Cocaine Bear, true story.
No
what you
taste
need
in
to know about
movies.
the 1985 event.
I have amazing taste in movies, Mike, but that just sounds like retarded, stupid stuff. So
I don't think you should use that terminology.
Yeah.
it just sounds stupid. So
It's actually, yeah, Mike. It looks like it is actually based on a true story. Apparently,
is it really?
a bear. Yeah,
Did this really happen?
apparently it did. I hear PDubs. Check the private chat. I will send you a link. You can pull it up.
Listen, the chat wants more Cocaine Bear.
No, they don't. They don't want to
read
talk.
the chat.
They don't
pull
want to
the
talk.
private chat up,
cocaine.
and I just sent you a link. It's a people whatever people.com article. Like, it's clearly legitimate.
The sequel will be Meth Muskrat.
And for those who are interested in Cocaine Bear, it's coming out February 24th in the USA. So you'll be able to see it before you see Mario.
The new film, Cocaine Bear, is loosely based on a wild animal in Georgia that overdosed on cocaine in 1985. I don't think the bear went on a killing spree.
It
but-
sounds to me like, and keep in mind, I love Kevin Smith, right? But one day Kevin Smith had an idea. He's like, you know what? He heard of a story kind of like this. He heard of a story of a guy who supposedly was going to, turn some other guy into a walrus, and he made that walrus movie, right? And it's probably the worst horror film in the history of films. That what is that? Tusk with Kevin Smith Tusk movie. Yeah. So this reminds me of that. Like, Elizabeth Banks heard this ridiculous story and decided to make a movie out of it. You know what I mean? Like, this is this year's Tusk, is what you're telling me.
It's
people have different taste in movies. Like, if you didn't like Piranha 3D and you didn't like Snakes on a Plane and stupid, just dumb, turn your head off action sometimes, this might not be for you.
Mike, it's so funny how loose you can be with, like, based on a true story. The real story is like a bear found 3 ounces of cocaine in the woods and it died, and they're like, "Oh, that's what we can do is we'll make a movie where somebody threw a bag of cocaine out of a plane, The bear got it, got highly addicted, and just killed the entire city. And it's based off a true story because at one point a bear died off.
You guys are missing. You guys are missing the big thing. The director. Remember, she was in Hunger Games. She had that white stuff
Elizabeth
on her face.
Banks.
Apparently, that was cocaine that was all over her face.
Oh,
She was the bear.
Checked up,
it all makes sense now.
Right. So she wants the
It
bear
all
experience
makes sense.
what she did in Hunger Games.
I hope this wins Best Picture at the Oscars, and I will dance, and I'll send PDubs all kinds of memes about it. This is going to happen. Cocaine beer for best picture.
This is all you need to know. Investigators found a ripped-up shipment of cocaine that a smuggler had dropped out of a plane in a duffel bag. The bag and the cocaine shipment were located near the remains of a black bear that was estimated to have been dead for about 4 weeks, and this was from December 22nd, 19.
Well, I can tell you that bear had the time of his life before he died.
My God.
What a way to go.
If you're going to go. There are way worse ways for a wild animal to die. Hopped up on coke, I don't think is
$5
the worst way it could have gone.
$5 super chat from Goofyfoot. It's a fine line between stupid and stupid good. This is triple BBB stupid good. So apparently, all right, you guys want to see Cocaine Bear? That's fine.
I'm not going to watch this, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is like one of those movies that I'm like, I'm glad that it exists, but I will never, ever watch it.
You've only watched 2 movies ever. You only watched Aladdin and
Lion King.
The other one's a little Lion King. They're only 2 movies you ever watched.
That's it. I've only ever seen those 2. I pretend to like Batman, but I've never seen a Batman movie.
Is this supposed to be like a comedy?
Well, I think it's stupid, like Piranha 3D. I mean, like
it's literally exactly like Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
What? Like, exactly. What is this? What is happening? What is happening?
Bears can't climb trees. Yes, they can.
Oh my God, this is so good.
Wait. So back in the 19. All right, good stuff. All right, Mike. Maybe it'll be a little bit better. Maybe it'll be a little bit better. Yeah, there you go. All right, guys. If you're gonna see Cocaine Bear, put a 1 in the chat. If you're not gonna see it, put a 0. That way, MichaelB can get that out of his system. All right, guys. We got 2 more movies we want to talk about real quick because these are probably the 2. Guardians of the Galaxy will probably make a lot more money than Transformers. Let's be honest. But still, we got the new Transformers movie. Let's kind of pull this up here. The new official trailer came out. Sorry, guys. I'm still getting used to where everything is. And my computer just completely froze on me. Hang on. There we go. All right. My apologies, my dudes. All right. So are you excited about seeing Rise of the Beasts? Like, we're going to see the Beast Wars. What are they? The Predacons are going to be in this. Who else is going to be in this? A whole mess of them.
Predacons with bad guys. What were the Autobots called?
The new ones, didn't it start with an M? Hold on a minute. I gotta end the poll here because I got too much stuff going on my screen. So yeah, it looks like a huge chunk of our viewers are gonna go see this particular. Wait, hold on. Do you want to see Transformers: Rise of the Beast? 35% said yes, 35% said no, 22% said maybe. But big shout out to the 5. Big shout out. Yeah, it's
Predacons.
A big shout out to the 5% of our viewers who said they would prefer to watch the GoBots. There you go, guys. Thanks for taking that poll. Thanks for taking the poll. But here we go. What do you think, man? What do you think?
I'm really happy with this because when I first heard that they were going to do when I first heard that they were going to do a Beast Wars movie, I was kind of like, because, unlike Restalgia, I actually grew up in the golden age of Transformers, Gen 1, not this bullshit Beast Wars stuff that Restalgia keeps waxing nostalgic for. Anyways, Beast Wars was awesome, and I'm glad that they're introducing it this way, so it gives them options to do further movies, but they're also continuing the Transformers lineup, and like we see right here, you're going to see Optimus in a minute, and he's in his original truck form. He looks incredible. They're bringing in characters like RC. You see the guy in Mirage. There's so much cool stuff happening.
That guy right there, the silverback gorilla, that's Optimus Primal, right?
That's right.
Optimus Primal. Yeah. So, and this movie is supposed to be the sequel to Bumblebee. So if you saw the Bumblebee movie, this is apparently a direct sequel to that movie. So I myself, I didn't watch the Bumblebee movie. They kind of lost me after the Mark Wahlberg movie. Like, that's when I kind of stopped paying attention to the Transformer movies. And what about you guys?
Transformers.
I haven't watched many of them, but this one looks pretty exciting. It definitely got me interested in checking it out in June of next year. I saw a little bit of Bumblebee. The other ones, I was a little older than Michael B, so the Transformers was huge. I had all the toys, but I don't know. I just hadn't really gotten into many of the movies, but this one looks pretty awesome.
Did I miss out on Bumblebee? Let me know in the live chat, guys. Was it worth watching? Because after the Mark Wahlberg Transformers movie, I gave up. I didn't watch Bumblebee. So let me know if I should go watch it.
The last two Mark Wahlberg Transformers movies were really rough. That one they did with The Last Night, where they had to find Excalibur and Merlin, was the stupidest shit in the entire world. Like, I don't even know what they were thinking. Like, if anybody says that cocaine beer is a bad idea for a movie, they made a Transformers The Last Night.
Yeah, and see, that's where I'm at with most movies. Once they get past like the third one, and it's even hard for me to watch the third one. They lose their imagination. They do stuff like taking Jason to the moon, or Jason's in New York, but not killing all the people around him. You know what I mean?
Hey.
They just get too crazy with the stuff, and I lose interest very
What
easily.
are you gonna shit on Friday the 13th for? I came here. I thought this was a Friday the 13th criticism-free zone, but then Carl has to break it out. Jason X is terrible. Jason Goes to Manhattan is terrible. This is some bullshit
ridiculous. Here. That's exactly what it was in movie form.
I mean, come on. Mark Wahlberg, look at it. It's a Transformer. You know, like, it was terrible, the Mark Wahlberg Transformer movies.
I haven't seen any of the Mark Wahlberg Transformers. I've only seen the very first one with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. And this one,
I wonder why.
Because I was a kid when it came out. But anyways, I think this will be disappointing unless they have very specific characters in there. Okay. So we know Cheetor's in there because we did see him in the trailer, but I want to see Rat Trap because he was like the best character. Yeah, he was the best character in the whole TV show.
You want to see Rat Trap? Do you Restalgia?
I do.
Did we miss a super chat, guys? Oh yeah, we did. $2 JT super chat. $2 hookers blow and a picnic baskets.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Thanks, JT.
And
sorry I missed it earlier. Hopefully that was the only one I missed.
They got to have Tigatron in there too.
So
I don't really care about anybody.
You're hyped about this one. Okay, you're hyped. Restalgia's hyped.
Yeah. So Dubs, a lot of people are telling you to go back and watch Bumblebee. If you're a fan of Gen 1, they did throw some I don't know what the right term is. They threw some Easter eggs out there to make you feel more welcome. It's finally they said, hey, let's do something for Gen 1. So that's in there. John Cena's acting in it was rough. Like, I don't know if it was intentionally rough or not, but his character was rough. So watch Bumblebee. It's definitely a step in the right direction. And if this is a follow-up, that means they're going to continue going in the right direction.
Okay, so I'm happy to hear that. And it looks like what I've seen some detractors, but there's been more people in the chat telling me that I should watch Bumblebee. So, guys, I'm going to find whatever streaming service has Bumblebee. I will watch Bumblebee and report back if I think it's good or bad. But I didn't want to watch it because the two Mark Wahlberg Transformer movies I thought were terrible, personally. Like, I just didn't like them. I didn't like
what how can you not understand what Excalibur and the Knights of the Round have to do with the Transformers? It's like you're not even following the history of the Transformers.
I'm pretty sure they're one and the same. They're like literally grounded from the same roots.
Same story.
It's the same story.
Okay. I'm going to put the next one in the live chat, guys. Give me your answers. Indiana Jones, the Dial. Is it Dial of Destiny? Dial of Destiny. Is that the name of the movie? What have you guys been? What have been your initial reactions to?
I'm pretty sure the title is actually called Indiana Jones and the Ravages of Time.
Are you guys talking about the new Star Wars movie?
No, Indiana Jones. Don't start. Restalgia's been teasing us all week, saying he's never seen an Indiana Jones movie.
It's not a tease. I've literally never seen an Indiana Jones movie.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
I've never seen an Indiana Jones movie, and I've never played an Indiana Jones game. Never. I just don't
there's
know what
never
to say
been a
about
good
it.
one since you've been alive.
That's a good point.
That's not true. Raider was the last one, Last Crusade out when that came out in 91. You weren't alive in 91, were you?
I was just, but I was a baby. Like I wasn't going
Okay.
to watch.
Yeah.
All right.
I
I
was
want to
not
get
going to watch.
All right. Well, whether
I
you
was
like
born. Yeah, I was born in 2022. Just a few months
Well-
ago, actually, I was born.
Well, I'm sorry, guys. It is without a doubt what looks to me like an incredible trip through nostalgia is going to be this Indiana Jones, the Dial of Destiny. Oh man, super excited about this. The deep fake that they did here in the trailer where they de-aged him. From what I could tell, or from what I heard, is that apparently like the opening of the movie is going to show a whole bunch of flashback scenes and stuff, and they did that whole deep fake with the face de-aging of Harrison Ford. So a lot of the stuff we saw in the trailer here, it looked really good. Like it looked really good. Like it looked like they actually filmed it like 30 years ago when the man was younger. You know what I mean? But I was excited to see Sala in this trailer.
Big time.
Big time. He could have made Kingdom of Crystal Skull better. Sala being in the movie improves it greatly. You know what I mean? Look how young he looked. Look at that.
Oh, he looks great.
Yeah, man. Guys, what do you think of the trailer? I'm sure you guys saw it by now. Let me know in the live chat.
I didn't watch this trailer, just like I didn't watch any of the other Indiana Jones movies.
So that guy right back there riding the motorcycle with the mustache, is that Shia LaBeouf's character, Mutt? Is he returning but played by a different actor?
I don't know. Let me know if you guys know. All I did was watch the trailer 2 times. That's it. And they don't say that guy's name.
I've watched the trailer like 1,000 times. I'm so excited about this. I hope they don't. I hope they don't do anything to Indy's wife, Marianne. Like that was my favorite part of the last movie. The fact that they reconnected. Like that was the only thing that really saved it for me.
Oh, the fact that they kind of like hooked up, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So no, it's one of the bad guys. Yeah, that's not shy. Yeah, I think that character, the Mutt Williams character. I don't know if he's going to be in this movie, Mike.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I mean, like it's maybe it's a different time period. I don't know.
Now, what I did see an article today where they said that this is definitely going to be Harrison Ford's last time. What's the matter?
Someone said, "Please don't reboot Indy." This isn't a reboot. It's just
this is a sequel. This is a sequel. Yeah, sorry, Mike. I saw you put your hands up. I was like, "Who are you mad at? You're mad at somebody in the chat." Yeah, guys,
Bob.
this is a sequel. This is Indiana Jones 5. This is not a reboot.
So does that mean you would have to watch all the other ones for it to make sense? Like if
You
I wanted to
probably
go
should.
watch this, would I be stupid not to watch all the other ones first?
You need to watch every other Indiana Jones movie except for Temple of Doom because that might have been a fever dream.
Well, all right, but apparently they did confirm, obviously due to Harrison Ford's age and everything, that this is definitely his last turn wearing the fedora and wielding the whip. However, they said they will make more Indiana Jones movies, but they said there won't be a character. They were not going to recast Indiana Jones. So what scares me about that, Mike, is when those articles came out yesterday, when the trailer was released, it made me think, are they going to kill Indiana Jones? Like Harrison Ford, for some reason, always wants his characters to die. He wanted Han Solo to die. He finally got his wish. It took him 25 years of begging, well, George Lucas wouldn't do it, but Catherine Kennedy was like, "Yeah, man, we'll kill you if you want to be killed." You know what I'm saying?
That ended up coming up and effing him in the B because then, unfortunately, his wife passed away, and they had to do some quick work to bring him back as a Force ghost in the third movie.
Yeah, but still, makes me worry that because they actually announced it. They said we will make more Indiana Jones movies, but we're not going to recast Indiana Jones. So it makes me think like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, are you going to kill? Don't tell me you're going to kill him. Like, knowing Harrison Ford, he probably wants to be killed, but I don't want Indiana Jones to die. I want Indiana Jones must live. He got to kill Harrison Ford. You got to kill Han Solo. Leave us Indy. Leave Indy alone. Let Indy win at the end. I want Indy to survive. Like, think about it. He lost his dad. He lost Marcus. You know what I mean? Like, obviously his son Shia LaBeouf isn't in the movie, so who knows? They're probably going to write him out of the storyline, right? Like, don't kill Indiana Jones. I'll be pissed. Go ahead.
Yeah, Alfred Berger brings up a good point. If they leave like all the previous Indiana Jones stuff, like the show canon, Indiana Jones lives like ancient, like a long, long time. I haven't watched that show since like I was a kid, but I mean, if he's in his 90s, like dying of old age, I don't think they would kill him off in this movie.
Now, Restalgia, just so you understand what this movie is, it's Laura Croft with no boobs and a fedora.
So why would you watch it?
I don't know.
We got a
That's
$5
what
super
it is.
chat from Bob. They will replace him and reboot Indy with Phoebe through time travel for Indy Plus series. This is reboot? No, this is not a reboot. It's a sequel.
So it's the series that's coming after that I think people are afraid of, that this is going to lead into that series.
They're doing a
but-
TV series?
Yeah, apparently a Disney Plus series. So
Oh.
I thought the Disney Plus series was going to be like a young Indiana Jones with a new young Indy, and that's what I would have done. I wouldn't have.
So I get it. So what it is Indiana Jones is going to hook up with Ant-Man and the Wasp, go through Quantumania,
Yeah,
and come out as young Indiana Jones back in the 1914. Stringer Films, $2. Yo, Mikey, mission accomplished. She's beautiful. What's he talking about?
I'm not 100% sure.
You know, you just don't want to say.
I'm not 100% sure. I got to talk to him about it.
Cocaine Indy. Oh my God, console kids. That's enough. All right, so let's take a look at the poll here and let's end it. I put, do you want to see Indiana Jones? The Dial of Destiny. 64% voted yes. 25% said no. 12% said maybe. There you guys
I
go.
said no.
I'm hyped about it because Indiana Jones and, Indiana Jones was amazing movies to me when I was a kid. Every time my parents put them on, I loved them. I couldn't stop watching them. You know what I mean? I love the Indiana Jones series.
Did you see? I saw Last Crusade in theaters. I remember we were supposed to go see Batman, and my dad took us to the movies to see Batman, and he was like, "Screw you, kids! I want to see Indy." So we went and saw that instead.
That's funny. I feel like this is too much of a commitment for me. If I have to watch 4 other movies to watch this
You're
one
like
movie,
You're like the
It just
weirdest dude in
feels-
the world. It's like
just-
4 movies.
I know that's a long time. That's like 10 hours worth of content I've got to binge watch before I watch another movie I may not like.
Such a weird.
It
dude.
won't
Just-
work.
just-
It won't work.
it's
Restalgia. I'll
it's
try
like
to with
telling
Star Wars.
somebody-
It just won't
It's
happen.
like telling somebody, "Oh, you have to see season 5 of a TV show, but you got to watch season 1, 2, 3, 4 before you can get to season 5." Like, no, I'm not gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna do it.
So Stringer Film says you need to check your text messages, Mike. Don't know what's going on there. Indy inspired. I agree with Paul here. Indiana Jones inspired Uncharted, Lara Croft, and all those other archaeologist type, action movies and video games. So yeah, I agree with that. Agree. Indy is a staple in my childhood. I love them, and it was a huge connection for me and my dad. 60.39% more deepfakes. There you go. Love we brought the 60.39% back. But I'm personally excited about that. That one I'm actually the most excited about. I'll be honest.
it's Indiana Jones. It's hard not to be excited. And
Yeah.
I'm not as against Crystal Skull as everybody else is. I don't know why they all hated it so much. Was it the bad guys, or was it I don't know, the theme with the aliens? Whenever they don't do religious and Nazis, it seems like people hate it.
I think it was the aliens thing, honestly, Mike. In my opinion, I think it was the aliens. I think if it was another more just based on not aliens,
Religious
You know what I
history,
mean?
yeah.
like, I think people would have enjoyed that movie a lot better. But what's funny, though, is in this trailer, if you watch this trailer about 30 seconds in, when you're starting to try and figure out what the movie's about, Indiana Jones does say, "I don't believe in magic," right? And then they show scenes of like him discovering like artifacts which might be magical in nature and stuff. So it makes you wonder, like, okay, so instead of aliens, are we going the magic route? Are we going to get Wizard Indiana Jones? Like, what the hell's going on here? You know what I mean? So we'll have to see. We'll have to see once they do more. Carl, Detroit Love, are you an Indiana Jones fan? Have you seen the movies? What do you think, brother?
I've seen all the movies, but it's been so long. I'm not one of those guys that watch movies over and over, so I can't tell you all the scenes. But I've seen them, but it's been decades.
So you saw the
But
underwater
I've had
scene.
figurines. I've had figurines and everything.
Oh, yeah?
But it's been years. Go ahead, Michael.
You saw the underwater scenes. So from what I remember, this movie was originally supposed to be something about the Indiana Jones and the Lost City of Atlantis. So it seems to me that the magic and all that stuff, this might have to do with finding Atlantis, if you go back to the rumors that have been on the internet for a while.
Interesting. Crystal Skulls lost me at the CGI Jeep sword fight. Oh yeah, when Mutt and God, what was her name? Kate Blanchett, her character. They were having the
I wish they relied more on practical effects. That's one of the things that made Indiana Jones so special, especially like if you go to Disney and you watch like the stage show and everything, like it's all so good.
Yeah. Okay, so there you guys go. Spoiler alert, Mike. Console Kid says you're ruining it for everyone else.
Just Restalgia, who seems to think the movie has the same plot as Aladdin. Because I keep telling him every movie has the same plot as Aladdin.
What's this movie about? He's like, oh, it's Aladdin. Yeah, that is true.
It makes me feel
Basically
like I've seen them all. That's all right. I just feel included. I'm like, oh, I
That's
definitely
totally
know what you guys are talking about.
All right.
That angry bad guy.
So
There's always an
unfortunately,
animal.
Carl, we're not going to have enough time to do the Quiplash thing. But
That's
next
fine.
week,
Do another time.
next Friday, guys, we got something special called Quiplash, as well as we're gonna have Restalgia put together some VR gaming stuff that we also ran out of time for this week that you guys will see next week. We also have some Steam Deck stuff next week as well. So we're going to be again continuing to change things up and show you guys some interesting stuff on top of the typical home arcade and retro gaming content. Hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's broadcast. I had a lot of fun myself personally. The boys are back in town. Do us a favor, if you enjoyed the podcast show, make sure you subscribe to our channels. Give us a thumbs up on the way out. And Carl, whenever you're ready, send them on their way.
Well, gentlemen, and one lady, if you're here, Amy, we appreciate you as always. We love you. We are thankful that you spend your time with us every Friday. And until next time, we'll see you on the web.